Before going ahead, I want to discuss or for like 5 minutes the Zen of Python. It's basically the core philosophy that the developers of Python try to adhere to. You can of course you know, take some Python code and write some Python code, but uh, I would say you can call yourself a true Python programmer if you believe in these tenets, if you believe in this philosophy, and like if you try to follow this philosophy in each and every line of code that you write. Okay. So you can get this easily by writing so uh, so Deepa, for you, just if you just type Python and then import this, you should get it.
I mean, in the CMD?
Yes, so in the CMD, just type Python,
Okay. And
enter,
enter?
and enter. You should get something like this. So you should get the
Like those interpreter will come.
correct. The interpreter will come, and then just type import this like this.
Import this. Okay, Zen of Python. Yeah, I got it.
You're getting this, right? So I'll just go through it. Let me know if there is something that does not make sense. So first one is beautiful is better than ugly. Explicit is better than implicit. Okay. So simple is better. So explicit is better than implicit is fine, right?
Yeah, like, but what exactly these are for
This is basically the philosophy.
of Python? Okay.
So you, let's say you are a Hindu, then you read Gita, right? You're a Muslim, then you read basically the Quran, right?
Okay.
So this is like, if you're a Python programmer, you should know these 11 stuff. It's like the tenets, it's like the philosophy. Okay, so I just want to take 5 minutes and just discuss before we go deeper into like with our other concepts. Okay.
Yeah.
So number one is beautiful is better than ugly. Number two is explicit is better. So first one is fine, right? Beautiful is better than ugly. Okay. Explicit is better than implicit. Any questions on this?
Just elaborate.
Okay, so by explicit is better than implicit means nothing should be hidden. Okay, you should not try to hide from, of course, like the whole point of abstraction is to hide complexity, but it is to hide complexity so that it is easier for the user. Okay, you should not try to hide stuff because you want to hide it. So like if making things explicit or if making things easier so basically it stems from the concept that you should share knowledge or you should share what you have. Okay.
Yeah.
Third one is simple is better than complex. Any questions? Fourth is complex is better than complicated.
Okay.
Okay, so that's like you are able to get it, right?
Yeah, right. Satya, are you there?
Satya, any comments on the stuff that we have read till now? Anything that you'd like to argue against?
No, nothing.
Okay. Moving on. Flat is better than nested. Okay. Yes. Any comments?
Yeah, I mean, what exactly is this?
So, like stuff should be on the same level as much as possible. Like you should not nest. So for example, you may have seen code such as they write if inside if, like it goes into deeper and deeper nesting.
Okay.
So you should try to keep it's
Better,
kind of,
I mean, not to be nested.
yes, it is kind of similar to the second one, which is explicit is better than implicit.
Similar than implicit, yeah, right.
Right. uh, then the next one is sparse is better than dense.
I don't know this meaning of spurs and dense.
So sparse in a programming context is you should try to keep it. It is like that saying less is more. So you should not try to put in too much information into stuff. Like whatever is necessary, only that. Even if it makes like the whole thing is sparse and not. So dense means too much information. Sparse means like whatever is needed. That's it.
Okay.
It's like similar to minimalism, if you can talk it.
Or simple is better than complex.
And also similar to simple is better than complex.
Right.
The next one is readability counts. So always try to make your code as readable as possible. Okay.
Yeah.
The next one is special cases aren't special enough to break the rules. Generally what you'll think is that, oh, I understood this high funder logic, I'll use my high funder logic in my like code and all, but generally you don't need all those high funder stuff. Generally it's like the rules that they have written is like in good common sense only. You should use common sense as much as possible.
Okay.
So that's what this means. Okay. Although practicality beats purity. So this means that we have been talking about rules, but at the end of the day, if something is practical, then it's okay to sometimes bend the rules also.
Yeah.
Next, errors should never pass silently.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, I'll explain this later. This is when we will do the errors thing. So if I try to explain it in a simple way, is if you try to suppress errors, your application may blow up anytime and you may not know why. At least the user will not know why. Okay. Unless explicitly silent. So this is similar to what we have here. Explicit is better than implicit. So you can silence your errors, but they need to be explicitly said that yes, I'm explicitly silencing this error.
Right. Got it.
In the face of ambiguity, refuse the temptation to guess, which means that whenever you don't understand, ask for help, ask someone, look it up on Google and all. Okay. This has historically been one of the most controversial of its tenets, which is there should be one and preferably only one obvious way to do it. Interestingly, this is in contrast to one of the central tenets of Perl. You know Perl, right?
Satya means I don't.
No, I'm saying about the language. Like, you know, there is a language Perl, right?
That I know. Yeah.
Yes. So one of the central tenets of Perl by the lead developer of creator of Perl, which was Larry Wall, he was saying that there are multiple roads to salvation. What he meant is you should be able to choose how you want to do it. So many people agree with this one, many people don't agree with this one. Okay?
Yeah, Jaydeep.
Yes.
Can I practice it on a Linux server, Python?
Yes, Linux server has Python installed by default. You should be able to just type Python and just get this.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm guessing you have a Linux server, right?
Yeah, he have. I mean, in the office laptop we have it.
Okay, then you can just go there, open your terminal and type Python and enter. That should take you.
Okay.
And once you get there, type import this. That should take you there. Okay. This I frankly speaking, I also don't understand. This is kind of a Dutch. Uh,
Yeah, that's it. Unless you're like all those.
uh, but apart from this, this one is like this part you can read, which is although that way may not be obvious as first, there should be one and preferably only one obvious way to do it, although that way may not be obvious at first. Okay. So, like, it's one of those things. Let's say, uh, like one of those quotation. Like, I can remember the Albert Einstein quote, right? Simplicity is the greatest sophistication.
Mm-hmm.
So the equation he wrote, E equals to mc square, is very simple and straightforward, right?
Yeah.
But it took us millennia to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things,
Okay.
like the best way may not come to us in the beginning. The next one is now is better than never. Although never is often better than right now. Can either Satya or Sudipa explain to me what is meant by this? I find this very interesting.
Yeah, now is better than never is like, I mean, we can do it now.
That means we have to do it right now.
Okay, and
although never is often
let me make it a little bit.
okay. Although better is often better than right now. Like although never is often better than right now.
Okay, let me try to explain it. Okay, now is better than never is simple enough, right?
Yeah, right now.
Although never is often better than right now. Let's say, for example, you thought of an amazing, let's say, improvement, but that improvement has a great cost associated with it. Okay, so if you go ahead and start implementing it right now, your business may lose precious money.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, maybe that thing that you are thinking is not of great value to the team and the organization, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes even if something feels like you have to do it now, later on you will see, you may understand that that thing that I was thinking was not really necessary.
Now, yeah.
Okay, I love the next two things. If the implementation is hard to explain, it's a bad idea. If the implementation is easy to explain, it may be a good idea. So hard to explain is definitely a bad idea. But if the implementation is easy to explain, it may be a good idea. Like, it's not guaranteed that it's a good idea, but
Yeah.
it may be. Namespaces are one honking great idea. Let's use more of those. This is a little bit Python specific, in the sense that in Python everything is a namespace, everything is a pointer. It does not hold any real value.
Okay.
But I'll explain. That may not make sense to you right now. I'll explain it later. So, any comments on this? Which one you like the best?
Like those are in first, like beautiful is better than ugly, and explicit one, the simple one, like the tops one.
So by the way, so the top is meant to supersede the lower one. So for example, like let's say flat is, or let's say something is, uh, like in this case, practicality beats purity unless or let's say in the face of ambiguity. So if two are in contrast to each other, or in conflict to each other, then you take the higher one. Satya, any comments? Which one is your favorite?
Beautiful is better than ugly.
Okay. So this one was here. Okay.